open. It's sidewinding into the run. My goodness. It's on the option, an opportunity for the goal. He's done it. An incredible touchdown run with 47 seconds to go. And the give is to the championship.
Welcome back to Sports Channel's continuing coverage of the IHSA Football Championship games right here on Sports Channel. I'm Jim Blaney. We've already seen 4 state champions crowned. Now it's time for the big boys to get their shots. Today we have the final 2 classes, 5A and 6A. Later on today we'll show you the 6A title game between Naperville North and Homewood Flossmoor. But right now we have the championship matchup in 5A, Palatine and Providence. For all the action, let's send it down to Bloomington Normal and our play-by-play team of Mike Lederman and Jack McInerney.
Thank you, Jim Blaney. It's the 5A matchup, Palatine against Providence. And welcome back to Normal, Illinois, on the campus of Illinois State University at Hancock Stadium. I'm Mike Lederman, joined once again by Jack McInerney, coach of Oak Park River Forest. An excellent matchup. Everyone's looking forward to this one.
Well, it's kind of an interesting matchup. Nobody expected this. They probably thought Providence could be here, but really nobody thought Palatine would be here. A real young team, went through a lot of injuries during the season. They're a real upstart team. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
One of the injuries was to the Pirates starting quarterback in the second game of the playoffs. In stepped the sophomore, Ken Stopka. All he's done is make very few mistakes and lead this team into the finals. Of course, he's had a few weapons to work with, starting with the tailback, Mike Burton.
Well, Mike Burton is a go-to kind of guy. He's got 1,000 yards, 25 touchdowns. He's the real ace in the hole for Palatine. We're surrounded by youth, but he's the go-to guy.
They also have another sophomore who's played all year, an outstanding player, both as a receiver and a runner. He's called Bubba, Frank Mariani.
Well, he's got from great stock. His father, his uncle, his grandfather. He does a lot for him. He catches the ball for over 500 yards. He's rushed for over 500 yards. For a young player, he's an awful good one.
Well, he's going to have to be today because Providence generally conceded to be number 1 or 2 in the state. They are undefeated, and they are led by a tailback who may be the single most exciting player in this tournament, Joey Schley.
Well, he's an exciting ball player. He has over 40 touchdowns, over 15 points in total offense. He's really an exceptional. He's got 4.5 speed. He's the go-to guy. If Palatine is to win, they need to stop him, but look out for the quarterback from Providence.
The quarterback, Christofferson, he is also having a fine year with 22 touchdown passes.
Well, sometimes you can stop the run, but you can't stop both. He's thrown for over 1,600 yards. He gives them the great versatility that all championship teams need.
Once again, an outstanding day for football. Temperatures in the 40s. The sun is shining. Got a little bit of wind. It should be an outstanding contest. Now let's check in with our men on the sidelines. Here's Joe Passion.
It is indeed a beautiful day, Mike, for football. The bands are playing. The crowd is cheered up in the stands for this great 5A game, and Providence will receive and defend the south goal. But let's meet the players with our PA announcer, Steve Adams.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineups for this afternoon's Class 5A State Championship game, featuring the Pirates of Palatine High School and the Celtics of Providence Catholic High School of New Lenox. First, introducing the starting defensive lineup for Providence Catholic. Let's meet the head coach of the Celtics, Matt Sefner. At nose tackle, number 77, Josh Domenico. At left tackle, number 97, Phil Nesnick. At right tackle, number 70, Ryan Staley. At linebacker, number 88, Bill Grogan. At linebacker, number 50, Jeff Knowles. At linebacker, number 59, Chris Janik. At linebacker, number 25, Joe Goes. At cornerback, number 6, Jason Edwards. At cornerback, number 26, Quinn Walsh. At free safety, number 29, Steve Withers. And at strong safety, number 1, Pat Rush. Those are the Celtics of Providence Catholic High School of New Lenox. And now, introducing the starting offensive lineup for the Pirates of Palatine. First, let's meet the head coach, Joe Patrica. At tight end, number 47, David Keene. At left tackle, number 74, Brad Basic. At left guard, number 67, George Calantis. At center, number 79, Tony D'Angelo. At right guard, number 77, Matt Berry. At right tackle, number 78, Chris LaJoya. At split end, number 43, Peter Lear. At quarterback, number 12, Ken Stopka. At flanker back, number 21, Frank Mariani. At halfback, number 34, Tim Stockwell. And at fullback, number 32, Mike Burden. Those are the Pirates of Palatine High School.
The sun is glaring brightly down on central Illinois here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Weather conditions are expected right now in the upper 30s, expected to get into the mid-40s by later in the afternoon. And the winds out of the south are only about 15-20 miles an hour. Beautiful, crispy, clear, and cool skies. Let's take a look at how these two teams got here to Normal. They had some very interesting roads that got him here, starting with the visiting Pirates of Palatine High School and Joe Patrica. This is the ball club that really had an interesting way along. Not only did they have to knock off an outstanding McHenry team that was undefeated in the third round, but then defeated a great Maine South team in the quarterfinals, and their semifinal win over St. Rita gets them here to the championship game. For the Celtics of Providence Catholic New Lenox, they also had some very tricky games along the way, including with Wheaton North, and then they had to come off and knock off some great teams like Marion Catholic and Richards, and then, of course, defeated the #1 ranked team in the state of Illinois, Rockford Boylan, and a real barn burner leading all the way to the end of the game to get here to the championship game. Now, you can see by the maps of Illinois where these two teams come from. Providence Catholic in the southwest suburbs, just east of Joliet, and Palatine in the northwest suburbs, of course, just north of O'Hare Airport. The officials for today's game are a veteran crew, and this is a group that has been here for many, many years. They've been here before. Dave McIntyre leads the group. Umpire Dave Seberg. Kraft is the linesman. Jay Lyons is the line judge, and Bill Charles is the back judge. And now for the starting opening kickoff of today's game. Let's send it upstairs.
All right, Schultz's kick for Providence in green. Taken across the 25-yard line by number 32, the tailback Mike Burden. A 21-yard kick return, and Palatine in the white uniforms and the red pants going to be working as you look at the Providence defense. The quarterback will be Ken Stopka for Palatine, the sophomore. Lair and Burden will be the backs, with Stockwell in the power I. From the 28, in motion Stockwell. And the give to the short man. This is Lair, Peter Lair. Right over the middle, gets short yardage, stopped by Ryan Staley and Chris Janik. Looking at the starting lineup, underclassmen there, as we told you. Ken Stopka is a sophomore, Lair a senior, Burden a junior, Stockwell a freshman there as the tight end, David Keene, and Bubba Mariani, the flanker, is a sophomore. Kalatsis, Basic, D'Angelo, Barry, and LaJoya, the last two over 250 pounds apiece. Second down, call it no gain. Stopper this time, the first carry for Mike Burden, and Burden stopped by a host of green, a swarm of Celtics.
It's like a scrub down there.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he's the man they're going to key on, and right there, they drove him back from the line of scrimmage. As we look at that defense for Providence that gives up barely 13 points a game. Staley, Domenico, Netznick up front. Goes, Knowles, Janik, Grogan, the linebackers. Edwards and Walsh are the cornerbacks. Steve Withers and Pat Rush are the safeties. So far, they have done the job. Third down and long, 3rd and 8 for Palatine. This is the first series.
They're going to be putting some pressure on that young sophomore today.
Mariani split left. Stopka's first pass attempt, looking for Stockwell and overshoots it. So 3 and out for the Pirates. And a good defensive series to start for the Celtics.
Well, it is, and here's the threat. You have a young man back there that is instant offense when you have Joey Schley back there to catch the punt, and on this kind of turf, it'll be interesting to see Joe with the ball in his hands.
He's run 2 back for touchdowns. As you take a look at Stockwell, who will be punting, a 35-yard average for the Pirates. There is Joey Schley, 40 touchdowns on the year. As we told you, a couple on punt returns. End over end kick. Out of bounds at the 45 of Providence, and so good field position for the Celtics in their first offensive series on a 25-yard punt into the wind by that young man right there, Tim Stockwell.
Well, this is a veteran group that has played a very, very difficult schedule all year long, so they start out with real good field position. Watch Joey Schley. He's a threat. 40 touchdowns. That's amazing stat.
He is the tailback. Kyle Stalter, the up back, and Stalter gets the first carry, and the junior, 6'1", 205-pounder, gets a couple. Stopped by Mike Burton, one of 5 Pirates who go both ways. Steve Rick, the other linebacker, makes the stop as well. Christopherson, the quarterback. There's Joey Schley, the tailback. Mike Uremovich, the flanker. Stalter will be the short man up front. Polaric and Schultz are receivers. Murphy, Howlett, Funk, Redican, and Kettler. Kettler, a junior, started already for 2 seasons for Matt Sefner. Second down, spread formation, receivers left and right. Uremovich and Polaric. And Joey Schley was going to get his first carry, but we get whistles first. And it looked like somebody in the defensive line may have broken the plane and gone into the neutral zone.
Well, the left defensive tackle right up there jumped, and he's in that neutral zone. In high school football, of course, contact does not have to be made. All they have to do is cross that plane, and it's an automatic 5-yard penalty.
Matt Barry, the culprit, one of the few mistakes you'll see Matt Barry make. An all-conference player, 250-pounder, right guard on offense. So 1st and 5. Check it, 2nd down and 2. And here is Joey Schley's first carry, trying the right side, trying to get outside, and he is close to first down yardage. Brought down by Mike Niketa in the middle, along with, looked like Frank Mariani in there, and the Palatine defense. Mulvihill, more of a drop back end. LaJoy and Barry, again, 2-way players. Bergmark and Niketa is on the nose. Burton, Rick, Lund, Mariani, Stockwell, and Chris Rodriguez, the defensive backfield. Ball is about a yard short, so 3rd and 1 here from the 46-yard line of the Pirates. Providence with the ball. Schley just did get the first down, but it looks to be a 1st and 10 brought down by Chris LaJoya for Palatine. Mike Burton helping out. Schley needed a yard, got very little more, but it's good enough for a 1st and 10.
Well, they really came up hard on the outside on that toss. And Joey Schley, with great quickness, came up inside. He wanted to go outside. Watch the corner came back up, turn him off. He came back inside and picked up that first down, and not by a whole heck of a lot.
Polaric split right. Uremovich to the left. The receivers. There are your 2 backs. First pass from Christopherson. Looking deep. Intended, it looked like, for Matt Schultz, the tight end, but double coverage there, and Frank Mariani and Stockwell in there on the coverage.
Well, as we mentioned in the opening about Christopherson, he's had a great year for the Providence Ball Club. He's thrown for over 1,600 yards. He's got 22 touchdown passes. He's attempted 218 passes, completed 125, thrown 10 interceptions.
Second down, just the start of things. No score, first quarter. Schley. Again, the right side, and again, he gets very little, brought down by the left side of the Palatine line, led by the linebackers, Rick and Burden. There you see Chris Rodriguez.
Again, a power play, and they do a nice job. The monster comes up to the outside to contain it. Joey just gets his head down and tries to get as much as he can. I think what's going to come to play in this ball game later on, Mike, is the fact that Palatine has so many players going both ways, and Providence kind of spots their players off and on. So wearing down each other could be a difference.
3rd and 9 for the Celtics. Christopherson straight back. Again over the middle, looking for Polaric. Touchdown!
Great throw.
Rich Polaric, 43-yard touchdown pass behind the defense. A picture-perfect play, and Polaric made that catch looking back in the sun.
Great catch. That's a very difficult catch, obviously looking back into the sun, but that was a heck of a throw by Christopherson. He put the ball right on the money.
For Polaric, his 8th touchdown catch of the season.
Just a straight drop back right here. He looks off a little bit, comes back, goes up top. Watch this, right in stride. Nice throw and nice catch.
Schultz to attempt the extra point. And the kick is up, the kick is good. So with 7 minutes, 19 seconds to go, Providence on its first offensive series scores the touchdown and takes the lead 7-0. Here's another look at a picture-perfect touchdown from Providence.
Well, it didn't take long for him to go up top. The defense stifled him a little bit early here, so they went up top right away. Another angle on that catch, just a post route, a good throw by Bob Christopherson to put Providence in the lead.
If they bottle up Schley, Christopherson's passing could be a difference, and it was certainly on that first series. So 7-0. Here once again is Matt Schultz to kick off. Mariani, the deep back, along with Burden and Stockwell. And this one will go over Burden's head. Mariani takes it on his own 8. 15. 20. And Brother Mariani almost broke it. Gets out to just about the 20-yard line. A 13-yard return. Matt Brendich, a defensive end, senior, making the stop. And now Palatine will go back to work.
Mariani's trying to, they have a middle return here, but you can see the pressure in the wall, so he tries to break it outside, and what usually happens when you try to get outside, they have the angles when you're running parallel, and that's what happens right here. Had he gotten by there, he had a lot of running room, but he didn't.
Palatine running from an unbalanced line this much of last week's game, and we'll try to do it this week too. And here is the give. Trying to get outside and almost doing it is Burden, but Burden is ridden out of bounds as he crosses near the 25-yard line. Knocked out by number 26, Quinn Walsh, right there, one of the cornerbacks. 6 plays, 55 yards. As you look at Matt Seffner, looking for a little guidance right there. And the 43-yard pass catch, Christopherson to Polaric, and here's a ground level shot.
Well, again, good pursuit, good angles. A corner comes up, rolls up. Quinn Walsh comes right up on a big back. Burden, 200-pounder, nice tackle.
Gain of 3, second down from the 23. Stopka again looking. Completes it. Out to Marty Shager. Shager, a senior end who was split out left. And that's good for a first down. First completion for Stopka, and that's got to be a good confidence booster for the young man.
That's a long throw, Mike. You know, we had mentioned in some of the earlier games, it's also downhill. He's at one hash throwing downhill on an out route. This takes a strong arm here for this young sophomore. You can see he really cranked it up. And nice catch here for the first down.
Shager's 9th reception on the season. First down from the 32. Again, the I formation, and again, it's Burden who will throw it. Burden's got a man open. It's Mariani, but overshoots him. Providence, to be sure, didn't bite, but Burden did have a step. And when you think about that pass being thrown into a 15-mile-an-hour wind, he really cranked it.
Well, it's one of those games where if you can catch them early, they want to get back in the ball game. And the other part of it is, too, you keep the secondary off you by not rolling up real hard on the run on the tosses. This will keep them honest for a while till they forget about it. But he actually did have two people open, but he's got a little too much arm there when you're not used to throwing it that often.
Mariani had a step on the free safety. Steve Withers brings up a 2nd and 10 now. Jaeger out left. Power I formation. Stockwell again sets, and we get a whistle.
Notice the interesting personnel changes they make by formations. Mariani goes to tailback, Burden goes to fullback. They mix it up.
Delay of game, offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
And that could have been one of the reasons right there for the delay of game is the personnel changes they're making by position.
There's Joe Patrica, 11th year as coach, came out of the University of Utah. Has been in the playoffs every year since 1986. The first final, though, for Patrica and the Pirates.
I talked to Joe before the ball game, and he was really excited. He said it's like a dream come true being down here.
2nd down and now 15. Again, they move Stockwell on the inside handoff. It goes to Burden, and Burden, the up back there, gets maybe a yard or two before he's met by Jeff Knowles, the inside linebacker. Joe goes, and number 77, the nose man, Josh Domenico.
Well, that's a tough group to run against defensively here. You take a look right here. The defensive line average is 205 pounds. The linebackers average 190. The DBs 177. And as my math puts me in, that's about an average of 189 pounds, which is a pretty good size high school defense.
3rd and 12 now. Passing situation for the Pirates. Stopko with the option, and this once again is Burden, and Burden is not going to get much. Takes a big hit from the linebacker number 59, Chris Janik, and Stopka, though, holding on there.
Good reaction here to the option. He really had a seam in here. They stretch it out. You can see a nice block right here, and there's a seam right there, but you can see the fast flow by the safeties and the linebackers. They come up and they do a real nice job. One of the key elements that you want to have in the defense is kids that can run, and Celtics certainly have that.
And that was Stopka on the carry, not Burton. And here is Stockwell to punt it to Joey Schley. And again, not a good kick, and it goes out of bounds just across the 50. So once more, Providence is going to have excellent field position. Only a 21-yard kick that time. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go first quarter. There is Stockwell. And the punter having a rough afternoon so far, and Providence with a 7-0 lead. And once more, good field position just close to midfield.
Well, what happens when you have a veteran team like this with the kind of firepower that Providence has, they don't need this kind of help to get the ball in midfield. If Palatine wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to do a better job with field position.
Polaric to the right, Uramovich to the left, the receivers. And here is Joey Schley with a little bit of room and gets to midfield. A good move to get him past the line of scrimmage. And there you saw some of the examples of the fast feet of Joey Schley.
Well, Joey Schley is extremely quick. You can watch how quick he is here. And remember, in football, there's a difference between quick and fast. He's got it's an inside trap, and there's the quickness we're talking about right there. He's about a step away on each one of those plays, and every time he touches the ball, he's one of those type of players where fans start to stand up because he's that exciting to go at any time.
Not a big kid, 5'9", 160 pounds. 40 touchdowns says a lot more than the statistics about height and weight. Inside give now, and this goes to Kyle Stalter, the fullback, who gets some nice yardage.
We got a motion penalty there on Joey Schley.
Mike Burden coming up to make the stop from his linebacker position. And there is the call. As you look at Stalter, doesn't carry the ball
Preliminary
all
signal
that much, but you can see he's got some good numbers.
Illegal motion, offense, penalty declined, 3rd down.
Well, declining the penalty is Palatine, so this will bring up a 3rd and about 4. Interesting call by Patrica to decline that penalty.
Well, we'll see right here. You can see that movement a little bit in the combination, the tailback moving, the quarterback there. That's your motion penalty. But getting back to Stelter, you know, he has 800 yards, but with a tailback like that, he has a 9-point average as far as carrying the ball. When you have a tailback like that, sometimes they forget about the fullback.
Christopherson looking quickly over the middle, completes it to his tight end, and it is close to the first down marker. Steve Rick, Tim Stockwell in to make the stop. That was very close to the first down, and they're waving it on. 1st and 10. There's Matt Schultz. Schultz does what a tight end's supposed to do, runs those short routes. And catches the ball, 28 receptions so far in the season, 6 touchdowns.
Take a look right here, just to stand up, and he's just going into the option route right there. Picks up the first down, doesn't go too far to pick it up. Good throw. Sometimes it doesn't have to be too fancy to be effective.
From the 42, and this is Joey Schley again trying the right side, and Schley on a nice tackle, taken down by the outside linebacker, or call him the left end in this system, Brian Mulvihill, 6-foot senior.
It was an awful nice open field tackle on a very quick back. Brian Mulvihill, 6 foot, 160-pound senior.
They'll line him up at the defensive end position, but he's more like a linebacker who will drop back. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. And the inside handoff gets a couple. Burden on the stop there of Kyle Stalter. Well, here's another one of your favorite pictures, Jack.
It sure is. This is the Illinois High School Football Coaches Association 6A All-State team. And these are the young men, excuse me, this was a picture of the 5A players that we had. And first year for it. And some great players on that team, the 5A All-State team.
Slay on 3rd down. Flag goes down. He is brought up short of a first down. Burden grabbing him at top, and from the bottom it looked like Rick, but a holding call is going to go against Providence. It's short of a first down. Let's see what Petrika does here.
Well, he knows they're going to go for it anyway.
So he'll probably take the
I would think so.
Yeah, well, they're walking to the south.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Dave McIntyre, the referee from Wheaton, makes the call.
Well, it's kind of difficult to see from this angle, and we can't really see it here. Let's see if we can get a better look right here. Try and find the culprit right there, 78. You can see him kind of pulling him from behind.
That's Ryan Murphy, the left tackle. So,
and he's basically a good kid, but that
3rd and 13, Uremovich in motion. Christopherson on the play action, and he had the screen set up to Stalter. Bergmark on the coverage, but overshoots his receiver. It'll be 4th down, the first punting situation for Providence. And we're going to see Matt Schultz again. This time he's going to be punting.
See the backside pressure here. He's not looking at it at all, and this can be a way of losing a quarterback. He's looking to the screen right away. He takes this shot just after he releases the ball. This is one of the reasons why Joe Petrika took that penalty, because he knew if they held him in that 3rd, they'd have to punt. If he had declined the other one, they still would have went for it and had short yardage.
And a big rush by T.J. Bergmark was putting a lot of pressure on Christopherson. So here is Schultz back to kick it. And Mariani, single coverage.
Good kick.
Bounces this one. Look out, way down. Coffin corner right there on the 1-yard line. A 44-yard kick. You can't ask for better coverage than that. And covering it looked like Chris Janik.
Boy, Palatine doesn't need this. I don't know that they're a 99-yard team, but just a line drive. And this, when they talk about AstroTurf bounces, here it is. Great coverage
Withers.
there.
Check it. Quinn Walsh, the defensive back, makes that play. Careful not to step on the
I don't know. If you looked under his feet, he might have some white paint there.
Well,
he's got those feet cannot be on that line. It's like when you cross the line for a touchdown.
Dangerous spot for Palatine here. And they try to go straight ahead, as they say, wedge him out with Peter Lear, and Jeff Knowles, the linebacker, makes the quick stop.
As tough as Providence's defense is, boy, this is a heck of a place for Palatine to be, with a young team and a sophomore quarterback and the state championship game, all combined into one.
35 seconds and counting. You see the score. Providence leads at 7-0 on the strength of a 43-yard touchdown pass catch from Christopherson to Rich Polaric. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 3. Here they give it to Burden, and Mike Burden across the 5, met by a host of green, led by Knowles, Jeff Knowles, and Phil Netznick, number 97, 5'9", 209-pound junior.
The game is to the
There's another look at Chris Janik in on the play as well.
Well, when a team gets this far, Mike, it's played based on great defense. That's what Providence has.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter, so we will change ends right here, take a break. The score of the Class 5A championship game, Providence leads it 7-0 over Palatine. All right, let's take a look at this punt coverage again. You can see the coverage man is coming in from the sideline. He's way out of bounds there.
Which makes him an illegal participant, so he can't even down the ball, and that's a penalty anyway, right there. And then I don't know, he's right in the lines there, but the first part of it where he came out of bounds, he's illegal.
Well, Palatine really didn't get much help from the officials on that one. They are in a hole now, 3rd and 5, deep in their own territory. All right, offense. And again, they give it to Burden, and Burden is just snowed under. Absolutely. So they're going to have a 4th down. Meanwhile, earlier yesterday in Class 1A, Sterling Newman, blown out a year ago in the title game, came back with a vengeance. David Miller over 130 yards after being held to 50 and 93. This 43-yard touchdown, part of a 27-0 whitewash of Lexington High. And in the Class 2A, Rockridge High of Taylor Ridge, Joe Schmolbach, the quarterback, getting the first touchdown here, and Rockridge going on to defeat Georgetown Ridge Farm 36-12. Right here, we're 7-0, and the punt is going to come, and it's going to be a safety as the snap goes through the end zone. Providence had a lot of pressure on the punter, and Stockwell didn't have a chance as the snapper, I believe it was Mike Nicketta, just bounced that one right through.
But you know, oftentimes, Mike, sometimes fans think that the pressure is only on the punter to kick out of the end zone, but before he ever gets an opportunity, the pressure is really on the center to make a good snap. I mean, he starts the whole play, and obviously there the pressure was a little too much. And the other part of it was, I think he wanted to get down in the coverage too soon.
So the safety brings the score to 9-0, the first play. 11:15 left.
I think Joe is trying to just calm the kids down, tell them to gain their composure, relax, just play their game.
Now they're going to have to free kick it and give the ball away again.
Kind of a tough way to start out in a ball game like this, especially with a young team. Palatine is young. They play some freshmen, some sophomores, and Providence starts 11 juniors. So we're looking at 2 ball clubs that could be back in this vicinity next year.
There is Joey Schley and his run back mate, Pat Rush. They're going to get the free kick here, and Palatine will tee it up.
Don't you think he should have been a lineman, defensive lineman, Pat Rush?
Like Margaret Court, tennis player. It certainly looks so. There is Marty Shager, who will kick off again with a 15-mile-an-hour wind at his back. Rush and Schley now switch positions on their own 35. This is Rush.
Good field position again.
And Pat Rush down in midfield, dragged down by number 37, Augie LaCapra, a sophomore, and TJ Bergmark. 13-yard return. And once again, good field position for the Celtics.
Tough bouncing right here, but you can tell he's probably a baseball player the way he feels that. And the big key was he kept the ball in front of him, get some yardage here. And so much of high school football revolves around field positioning. Providence certainly has had it this first quarter.
Chris Walker split out to the right, Rich Bolarik to the left. That is Chris Walker in motion. Caught 2 touchdown passes in the semifinal against Boylan. Penalty flag goes down. Christopherson looking for Walker. Bouncing it in front of him. Mike Burden putting a rush on the quarterback, but all this is for naught. Flag here.
It was incomplete.
Got an illegal shift, it looks like. No, it doesn't look like it, but that's what it is.
I think he's talking to the quarterback here, and that's exactly what's happening. When you
Offense, penalty decline, 2nd down.
One of the rules is that when a quarterback puts his hands in underneath the center, for example, with audibles, he cannot remove his hands again Now, I think we caught that just a tad after the movement. But he is jumping, and occasionally anything that will pull the defensive line off can be determined as a flag or illegal motion.
Penalty is declined, so 2nd and 10 after the incompletion again from midfield. Once again, Christopherson. Good coverage, but shoots it out to the tight end over the middle, and Matt Schultz. 20-yard gain. Steve Rick, Tim Stockwell make the stop, but lots of patience, good protection, and the Celtics have a 20-yard gain there.
Quarterbacks can have great patience, Mike, when they have great protection. What he does, they cross the tight end and the tailback here underneath on a drag route. Wide receivers go deep. Watch Joey Schley crossing. Watch the tight end. They're going to cross right underneath those linebackers. There goes Joey. There goes the tight end. And right there, he's wide open. They cleared out the secondary with the deep routes, came underneath in a crossing pattern.
Gain of 15. 1st and 10 again. Here is Schley, who's been held in check and gets maybe a yard. LaJoya and Nikita on the stop. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go. First half, 9-0 for the Providence Celtics with Matt Seffner in this Class 5A championship. There's the Pirates defensive huddle.
If breaks are handed out, Providence has had them. It's not that they have created them. It's just been a field position situation where they've been given the ball in great position.
Penalty flags again. Motion in the backfield before the pass to Schley out in the flat. And this will be brought back again. Illegal motion, illegal shift, illegal something,
Dead
illegal
ball.
everything.
False start on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Matt Seffner is not real happy here. You get a team that comes down here undefeated. Those kind of mistakes they normally don't make. And there it is right there. A little anxious to get out into the route.
Left side of the line plus the tailback.
Now that could be the center and the quarterback. He's changing up his tone or the rhythm of the count.
There's the penalty situation. And a 2nd and 15 for the Celtics. Again, Christopherson looking once again for Polaric. And that time overthrown, coverage by Stockwell. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they're not afraid to go deep. They got the horses to do it, and a quarterback that has the arm to get it down to those kids. They run well out in the flanks. Both split ends and flankers have great speed, and of course Christopherson has a strong, accurate arm.
Polaric, leading receiver, 45 catches coming into the final, made 7th for 88 yards against Richards in the quarterfinals, including 1 for a touchdown. So Christopherson going to the air here as Joey Schley has been contained by Palatine so far. 3rd down. A little Statue of Liberty or a play fake right there, and they pitch once again. Well short of a 1st down. Burden making the stop on the tight end Schultz.
Real impressed with this young Palatine defense. They're reacting extremely well, running well to the ball. That was a pretty good fake by Christopherson, but it didn't do much to the backside of Palatine's defenders. They stayed home as their coach and did a nice job.
Well, once again, as we take a look at this, Matt Schultz is going to have a chance to put Palatine in a big hole with a punt.
This was just a counter pass to the fullback off the counter trap run, but Palatine didn't bite on it.
The receiver was Stalter. And here is Schultz's punt. This time against the wind. Once again, the coverage is there. And look at this. Just took that dead cat bounce inside the 5-yard line. And once again, Palatine in a big, big hole. 32-yard punt. No return to the 3. And there are the 5A rankings, Jack. And Providence and Palatine both the top 10. Palatine really came up from underneath throughout the season.
They really did. And Providence in the semifinals knocked off Rockford Boylan. So that changed that complexion of that right after these parents came out.
Oh, what a punt by Matt Schultz. And here, 1st down for Stopka and the Pirates inside their own 5. Throwing from his end zone, the sophomore shoots it out.
Trap, I thought it looked like a trap.
Let's see what the goal looked like, a trap from up here, but and that's what Providence is saying. And now one of the linesmen comes over and says, yes, it was a trap intended for Mariani. Quinn Walsh on the coverage.
Second down and 10.
You know, and you're telling me, Mike, these 30-some-year-old eyes can't see the way they used to. Ooh, well, as instant replay would have it. Let's take a look here. The ball, he's got his palms up. The hands are, oh, mercy. I retract my statement of saying.
That's another tough call against Palatine. It looked like from here.
But I tell you what, if we got instant replay up here and we're not positive, then the officials did a great job of making that call. I might have them in the first ball game.
On third down, that's right. Intended for Stockwell, incomplete, and once again, Jason Edwards on the cover, and once again, Palatine's going to have to putt from its end zone. Last time, a bad snap created a safety, and Stockwell's going to have a problem here again with 8:45 to go, trailing 9-0. First, though, it's 3rd and 10.
Well, this field position has really been a absolutely tremendous disappointment for Palatine.
On 3rd down now. Stopka again looking, good coverage, and intercepted.
That's a long, tough throw.
Steve Withers, number 29. Intended for Mariani, and Withers was underneath and had no problem picking that one off.
This is really, he's throwing from this hash mark all the way back across the field.
Into double coverage. Yeah.
In a double coverage, a 25-yard throw sideways or up the field and another 40-some yards. That's a tough, tough throw. And obviously not a wise choice.
Steve Withers, the junior, making the interception. Providence rolling again on the 25-yard line to Palatine. Here's Joey Schley, and Schley gets to the 21. Gain of 4. Burden making the tackle, along with Matt Barry. A good look at Steve Rick. Rick, a soccer player, didn't play this season for the Pirates. He had played before. Then the team went on to win the state championship, if you remember, a few weeks ago. And the muck and rain. Yeah, we were there.
I remember watching it, Mike.
All right. That's an excellent. Palatine tied the game in the last minute and then won it in overtime. 2nd and 5, and here's the pitch. Once again, Joey Schley, and Schley close to first down yardage, tripped up by Stockwell. 7:40 to go. Providence now 9-0 as we take a look at Chris LaJoya's helmet, well decorated and well battered.
That helmet has been in a lot of plays throughout this season. All those scrapes those aren't car accidents. It's not
no, Palatine trying to avoid a train wreck right here at 3rd and 1. And here is Schley, puts a juke move on, gets close to first down yardage. TJ Bergmark making the stop, but it appears to be enough for a 1st and 10. Take a measurement right here.
interesting mark there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that defensive line of Palatine did a nice job of stalemating that offensive line. They didn't go anywhere.
Well, they got a couple of big guys anchoring that line. Barry at 250, LaJoya at 268.
That's a tough matchup unless you're double teaming them. You're not going to get them off the ball.
Just a hair short. So 4th and 1. Matt Sefner comes out and just points toward the goal line. Go for it. Matt Schultz can kick field goals, but not today. On 4th and less than a yard, they will go. Polaric and Walker to the left. Schley is the deep back. Stalter now moves up into the fullback position, and this is Schley, and Schley, first down and more, 6 more.
From the short yardage to big yardage.
Well, everybody was wondering when Joey Schley would break it, and the only thing that stopped him there was the goal line. 18 yards on 4th and inches, and it's 15-0 for Providence.
Well, they shifted at the last second. Palatine was over with that power look, and then the fullback shifted back to the eye. They ran opposite, and then Joey cut back against the grain, and with that quickness and speed, He's tough to stop. His 41st touchdown of the year.
41st touchdown, 36th rushing. Schultz for the extra point. Mike Uremovich, the holder. Right through, 6:50 to go, first half. Providence has a 16-0 lead. We'll be back. All right, first let's take a look at the touchdown again, Jack.
There's Joey cutting back with those quick feet, trying to get a pickup of first down, and he picks up a touchdown. 41st touchdown of the year.
Now we'll take a break. Another look at the touchdown and the feet of Joey Schley.
Well, they're going one way. You can see Joey is shut off right here. It was a stalemate. He cuts back right here against the grain, and he picks up not only the first down, but 6 more points for Providence. 41 touchdowns on the season. That's an incredible record.
So Schultz will kick now. Seems he's been doing a lot of that. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go first half. And Mariani, the deep man, there's Bubba for Palatine. An offense that's had only 1 first down so far today. And again, the dribble kick.
Finally, Palatine has some field position.
Well, Steve Rick, good hands, takes it across the 45, a 14-yard return, stopped by Chris Janik. And so Palatine now, with the best field position it's had quite some time, will try to get something going. Ken Stopka, the sophomore quarterback, intercepted last time, led to a touchdown. He has done an outstanding job since coming in the second playoff game because of an injury to the first-string quarterback. Remember, this kid was playing sophomore ball all season long. There he goes now. Looking, completes it to Mariani, and Bubba Mariani juggles it, holds on, gets the first down inside the 45. Stopped by the linebacker Jeff Knowles and Steve Withers, the safety, coming up. Good play, good combination.
Bubba looks a little shook up on that. See right here, it's just a 3-step quick drop. Pretty nice throw. Good concentration by Bubba Mariani right there. And he gets stuck big time.
The sophomore connection as we look at it one more time.
Watch this hit right there. Helmet right under the chin. Tough little kid.
Burden splits right. Shager left. Again, Stopka looking for Burden. He's got an arm. He's got a man. He's got to score. Mike Burden had to come back for that one. Took it away from the defenders. Looking into the sun. 42 yards. Hello, Palatine.
Pretty nice throw for a young sophomore in Ken Stopka. And of course, Burden shows that he can run and catch the ball for a big man.
Mike Burden, his 3rd touchdown reception this season, and for Ken Stopka, his 4th touchdown of the year. Shager will attempt the extra point. Only took 50 seconds on the drive. And Palatine is back in this one. Bad snap. Stopka trying to save it. The kick doesn't get much on it. Now it's 16-6, but Palatine is on the board. 6 minutes exactly left to go first half. We'll show you the combination clicking again.
Now you can see Stopka came out to the left, which got the corner to roll a little bit, and Burden got good position inside, kind of laid it up a little bit, but that's an awful good catch looking up into the sun.
Jason Edwards, the cornerback there, had good coverage, but Burden just makes the play right here. Here's where he's got to come back, Jack.
Right, he had position on him, and he had a few steps. The ball was laid up a little too much, but a nice catch and good concentration by Burden.
Well, you can see the variety Patricia uses in his offense. He'll use Burden as the up back. He'll use him as a tailback there. He's split out wide. And full service back right there. And made the play.
Well, that kind of versatility is what you look for in a high school football player. And, of course, with his size and speed, he can do a lot of things for you.
Joe Patricia huddling up with his Pirates before he sends out his kickoff team. 16-6. 6 minutes to go here, second quarter. That's your story. I'm Mike Lederman, along with Jack McInerney. Bob Albrecht and the crew and the Sports Channel truck, and out on the field, bringing you the coverage, the 5th of 6 high school state championships this weekend. Hope you're enjoying it. Remember the 6A game coming up right after this one. Tom Stocker and Bill Gorley.
It should be another great ball game with Naperville North and home with Flossmoor.
North and HF. Matt Seffner got 2 state titles in 4A, looking for his first in 5A. 27 years as coach of the Celtics. Shager boots this one. Schley takes it to his own 14. And Joey Schley snowed under as he crosses the 25. Ryan Mulvihill and George Kalantzis make the tackle. Let's go down to Joe Passion.
Well, guys, we've talked about the offense of Providence and how powerful it can be. One of the reasons why is Christensen is a quarterback in which the coaches have so much confidence in. He will audible. Offensive coordinator Mike Napoleon telling me before the game that when he audibles, it will usually be toward a run. Napoleon, who has that interesting look on the sidelines, he always wears shorts. Very superstitious coaching staff here at Providence. But this team will audible, and they will use the passing game to their benefit.
Christopherson had Stalter all alone. Passed just a little bit too far across midfield. Chris Rodriguez on the coverage, and Christopherson again throwing into the wind across the crown. Good throw. The receiver had 5 yards on any defender. Look right there.
Well, the scramble, he was thrown on the run, but he had him wide open, kind of spread out that that secondary. It was he had pressure put on him, so it was a tough throw.
Second down, Stalter and Schley, the backs. Again, Christopherson feeling some heat, throwing this one up for grabs, and the closest person to it was Chris Rodriguez in a red and white uniform.
That's the best pressure we've seen Palatine put on Christopherson today, and that's obviously doing something in his passing game. It's when he's moving like that, he's not getting it. When he doesn't have his feet set, it's a little more difficult, obviously, for him to throw.
Pass intended for Polaric, who's already caught 1 touchdown.
You can see right here, he gets a little pressure to slide out of the pocket.
Steve Rick putting the pressure on him. 3rd and 10 after the 2 incompletions. And they go to Schley, and Schley is not fooling Mike Burden. And Burden makes a big, big stop. A true 2-way player. And Joey Schley comes to the sidelines as it's a punting situation for Providence.
You can see Burden right there beat the center on the draw and then just comes right back inside and makes a nice play on Joey Schley. And we talked about Burden on the pregame, how he's kind of the focal point of this young Palatine Pirate football team.
Burden goes back in single safety now at his own 34. And waving the punt from Schultz, and it's a good one.
Again, decent field position.
From the 37, and almost breaking it is Burden. But good coverage coming through. Rodriguez tried to give him a good block there, tried to spring him. But Steve Withers makes the stop. 36-yard punt, 5-yard return, 4:41 to go first half. And Palatine back in business again with decent field position and a 16-6 deficit.
They have a wall set up here, but getting to the wall is the tough part. Right there is a nice block, and you can see right here the outside contain man keeps him inside. He's not able to get to the hash mark where that wall was set up.
Receivers left and right. Stopka again to throw. He's got a man open. It is Marty Shager, and Shager among 3 defenders. Edwards on the coverage primarily, and across the 50-yard line. There is Shager.
Coming into this ball game, Kenny Stopka had 16 completions on 37 attempts for 214 yards. Now keep in mind, he replaced Matt Morozek, who dislocated the shoulder against McHenry, who had 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns. So that's a big loss of offensive firepower, and then you bring in a sophomore, but thus far he's done a pretty nice job.
First down Palatine from the Providence 47. Inside handoff, and not much happening there for Lear. Stopped up by Ryan Staley. Messenger comes out, Shager comes in.
Little inside trap here with the fullback, but you have to get the the lineman moved off the field, and there was not much movement there by the offensive line, so that trap didn't go too far.
Shager and Steve Cromar, the receivers, to the right. Burden to the left. Single back. Stockwell, and they throw it to Burden. And Burden covered up there by Janik and Edwards. Gets about 7 yards, 6-7 yards across the 45. Well, Palatine's offense has started to function better now. It's getting a little bit more momentum.
Well, I think they're getting a little more confidence. Obviously, field position is something they didn't have, and your confidence level when you're on the 1 yard line trying to bring the ball out and on the 5 makes it tough. But they've had better field position the second half of the second quarter.
3rd and 5. Stopka again, and this time almost intercepted. Once again, it was the cornerback Quinn Walsh, intended out there for Steve Cromar.
He's got a lot of confidence in his arm throwing those out routes and kind of throwing them into coverage. There's an under coverage right here by the strong safety and also the corner rolling up. Those are dangerous passes because there's nobody there if they're picked off.
2:49 to go, 4th down and 5, and Palatine's going to go for it. They send Burden to the left. Shager out to the right, along with Kumar. And the pass reflected at the line of scrimmage. Nice. It looked like Knowles, the linebacker, got his hand on it as the ball went across the line of scrimmage. And Providence, with a key defensive play, will take over with 2:45 left in the half. There he is.
This is the 4th pass that has been deflected that Stofka's thrown. And you can see right here, he gets a decent drop. Pretty good protection right there. Good athleticism. Knocking that ball down. He did have a man open downfield.
Jeff Knowles, 210-pound, 6'2" senior, and right there the 6'2" is a lot more important than the 210 as he gets up there and makes the deflection. Palatine takes a timeout right now with 2:45 to go. 1st and 10 for Providence on the 43-yard line. We want to remind you we've got college basketball here on Sports Channel. It's your home for college hoops. Live tonight at 7. DePaul opens up against Eastern Illinois. Monday night at 7, Loyola with Ken Burmeister at the helm will take on Ricky Birdsong's Northwestern Wildcats. And Notre Dame with John McLeod will play Indiana. I don't know who coaches those guys, but he'll be there with his red sweater Tuesday night, live right here on the channel. Let's go down on the field and check in with Joe Passion. Joe.
Well, Mike and Mac, you both know very well from all your years of covering high school football, as I do, that Joe Petricka, the very volatile and very sharp coach for this Palatine team, is one that doesn't have to yell at his kids a lot. Really, he can't. Because of cancer in his voice box, in his larynx, several years ago, he has a voice box which he actually had to relearn how to talk through occupational therapy. He doesn't yell at the kids, but he does get his point across, and it also helps out with the great communication he has with his staff toward his ball club. Back upstairs, fellas.
1st down, 10 yards to go from the 43-yard line. Their own 43, the Celtics leading 16-6. Flags fly. Maybe a little movement across the zone in the defensive line by the nose guard. Like Makeda, there's Mike.
Anticipate the snap a little bit here.
Offense.
But they call the offense for a false start, so.
Now that's got to be in the center exchange right there. There's the left tackle. Yes, sir, left tackle moving down. Well, I'll tell you what, these cameramen are on their toes. Great shot.
I know. You know why? That's because Bob Albrecht raised the camera platforms so they can't work flat-footed. 2:44 now. 1st and 15. Christopherson with the play fake. Looking over the middle and throwing into coverage intended for Matt Schultz. Again, that pass may have been deflected by Palatine. Steve Rick, the linebacker.
Not a real good route there, Mike. We had 2 people right to the left of your screen as you're looking at a play-action fake. But you see the tight end slide over into coverage, but the split end is sitting right there. So now you bring another man into coverage. Not a good route.
And Steve Rick did get a hand on that pass. So 2nd and 15, clock at 2:40. And this time they give us to Slade. One good move gets him out of the backfield, but picked up by Burden as he crosses the 40-yard line. Tim Stockwell also in on that play.
Nice open field tackle here coming up right here. Gets him back to the line of scrimmage.
Stockwell tripped him up, and Burton finished him off. So 3rd and 10 now. 2:15. Clock is running. Shoots it over the middle to the tight end once again. They like that play, but it'll be short of the first down, just on the other side of midfield. Stockwell again having a busy day in the secondary. They're going to go for it, making the stop on Schultz. No issue here. Under 2 minutes to go. There's Christopherson looking to Mike Napoleon, the offensive coordinator, over there by the 50. And flashes the play in on a 4th down. And, well, I guess a long 2.
Nice advantage here, too, as the 25-second clock is under both scoreboards for the quarterback.
Over the middle once again, and again he finds the tight end going the other way. Stockwell on the coverage. 1st down, Providence.
This is quite an advantage down here for the state championship games that we normally don't have in the regular season, is that 25-second clock under the scoreboards at both end zones, which makes it a lot easier for those quarterbacks to know how much time they have left.
Providence Brain Trust, Napoleon on the left, Matt Sefner on the right. 1st down. Big rush put on, and the pass, it is complete. Bergmark on the coverage, but a nice catch out there right on the sideline by Rich Polaric, gain of about 8.
Nice timing route here, Mike. Just a 5-step drop and the out route right at the 1st down marker.
And Bergmark gave him a shot.
Look at that.
You only need 1 foot in, but he had 2. And T.J. Bergmark put a lick on Bob Christopherson.
He's been getting hit quite a bit.
2nd and 1. Minute 24. Play. Dips and dives, dances, and loses a yard. Steve Rick not letting Joey get away. Clock running now with 1:10.
For the most part, they've done a pretty nice job of containing Joey Schley, except on that 1 touchdown run that he had.
Schley comes split wide right. Stalter is the setback. Christopherson again being pursued. And he's got to take it out of bounds.
4th down!
Smart play. Loses about 3 yards, so it'll bring 4th down up. Brian Mulvihill putting the chase on the quarterback here for Palatine. And there are his numbers.
Not too shabby for a 1st half.
Well, he completes 57% of his passes during the regular season. There you see he's a little under 50% here. But lately especially, there's been a lot of pressure. 4th down and 5. Clock at 51 seconds. And again, the Celtics will go for it. They throw the quick out to Schley, and Schley doesn't get it. Palatine quickly covering. It looked like Stockwell, number 34, along with Mulvihill dropping off the line there, number 35. So a big defensive play by Palatine to hold Providence with 46 seconds to go 1st half. That's got to be a big one for Patrica's Pirates.
Well, they did a nice job there. They had good coverage downfield, and they tried to flare Schley out of the backfield, but the linebacker dropped off and knew exactly where the 1st down marker was and did a nice job.
Stopka will take his team out. They have 2 timeouts. And there's the situation. Down by 10, 46 seconds to go 1st half. Stopka being pursued, and down he goes. It looked like Josh Domenico. The nose tackle got a hold of him.
Providence trying to get a timeout.
Phil Netznick, rather, number 97 in there leading the charge. We'll watch it here.
Good push upfield by the defensive lineman right here, putting the pressure on him. And, of course, once he's going away from the line of scrimmage, the chances of him throwing downfield are slim to none.
Give that sack to Phil Netznick, 5'9", 209-pound junior defensive tackle. There he goes. And he didn't have time to see anybody open, really.
Yeah, he got pressure early. And anytime you see the offensive lineman turned around facing the quarterback, you know things aren't too good.
Is that the old lookout block?
That's right.
Timeout taken by Providence. See if they can get the ball back here in Palatine territory. Clock shows 33 seconds.
Now this is a situation now for Joe Patrica that with the pressure he's been getting now in that last rush, they came real hard. So the next thing is you don't want to put Providence in a position to do anything at the last minute. So I would think that what's going through his mind right now is probably either screen or draw, but not trying to throw the ball upfield with the idea, for example, right now that Providence will be dropping off in the coverage. So screen and draw is a fairly safe call and might get you some decent yardage.
Providence opened the scoring in the first half. A 43-yard touchdown reception by Rich Polaric, added a safety when a snap for Palatine went out of the end zone, and then a touchdown run by Joey Schley for a 16-0 lead. Mike Burden made an outstanding 42-yard catch for a touchdown for Palatine, and that's where we are, 16-6. Second down and 20. Lost at 10 on the sack. Stopka looking, he's got Burden. And Burden with a good game. Picks up 15 of those 20 before he's stopped by Steve Withers from his free safety spot. Timeout taken now. And this time, I believe Palatine takes it. Here we go.
You can see it's a very conservative pass. It's supposed to be a screen set up a little bit. Burden just out in the flat here, knowing that the coverage linebackers and secondary are dropping off, so he gets them in the seam between the line of scrimmage and the secondary. And Burden moves extremely well for a 200-pounder. He's got nice moves and good speed.
Remember, he's just a junior, so he's going to grow some. He'll be back. You look at the guts of the offensive backfield as we see Palatine still with one timeout remaining, Providence 2. Stopka, Mariani are sophomores, Burden's a junior. Cromar, receiver's a junior. Shager's a junior. They've got a tight end by the name of David Keene, who's a freshman who started. So this is a team that will be well stocked in the backfield. The offensive line, though, all seniors, they're going to have to do some work there to replace those people.
Normally, when we have done these games over the years, Mike, when you see younger teams like this, they're usually with the smaller schools, maybe the Central Illinois and Southern Illinois schools that have not so many freshmen, but a lot of sophomores. It's very unusual to see the larger class schools have this kind of youth, especially with Palatine having, you know, freshmen and sophomores playing at this level and contributing. And same, obviously, with Providence.
And Mike Burden is a speed demon who ran the anchor leg of the 4x100 relay team for the Pirates track team. 3rd and 5. Stopka again, looking for Mariani, and this one's out of bounds. A tough catch for Mariani to make. Good coverage over there once again by Quinn Walsh for the Pirates.
Well, this kind of gives you an idea of Joe Petricca's aggressive nature here, not just settling down and wanting to get the ball out of here, trying to go up top and get some points on the board here, even though he picked up the ball with 27 seconds left. He's still trying to make something happen here. Here's a deep out. Now, again, this takes a strong arm. He's throwing this ball a long way. He does have a little wind to his back, but that takes a strong arm on Stopka's part.
Stockwell to kick it. Schley's at his own 30. The kick will come from the 35. Line drive kick away from Schley, out of bounds inside the 20. 11 seconds to go, 38-yard kick. And the Celtics will have one last opportunity. Now, I'd like to have the balloon concession today, right there. Fans are getting ready to play. Palatine group right there. You got to have those facial decals, you know. And there it is.
Hey, there goes.
Is that the Palatine blimp with who's our co-pilot?
I was going to say, I know you tried to get me up on that thing the other day, and I'm not going to do it, Mike. No matter what you say, I'm not going to pilot that
understand.
thing.
That's the generic blimp. That says blimp. Christopherson gives it to Schley, and Schley is met by a host of Pirates as he goes down. And that should just about do it. Niketa leads the charge, and that's it. That's the end of the first half. Both teams head to the locker room, and the Providence Celtics lead the Pirates of Palatine 16-6. As we saw once again a team jump out to a considerable lead, and then the other team rally. There's Matt Seffner walking off.
Not too happy. Had a few choice words there for a couple of those linemen. But based on what happened in that first half, Palatine is really fortunate that the score is only 16-6. They never had field position until the second half of the second quarter. They were down in the hole the whole time, and initially it sure looked like Providence was going to lay a lot of points on them.
Okay, let's go down to Joe Passion. He's got Joe Patrica with him.
Coach, obviously bad field position really put you behind the 8 ball. How do you offset that in the second half?
Well, a lot of that's luck, and a lot of it's experience. And I think we're a little bit in awe being here that first quarter. I think we've settled down. And as far as field position, it's kicking game. And we haven't executed with the kicking game the way I thought we would.
Does the game plan change any differently? Maybe do you add some more things now that the team feels a little closer to you?
We got to open it up a little bit. They're doing a nice job with their defense line.
All right, Coach.
And we're not handling them very well.
Have a great second half, Joe. Thank you very much. Joe Patrica, the Palatine head coach, and we'll send it back here at Hancock Stadium in a few moments, but we'll take this break. We're at the half of the Class 5A state championship football game, and Providence with a 10-point lead, 16-6 over Palatine. With Matt Marzik, the senior quarterback, broke his collarbone late in the season after throwing for over 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns. And how much is it eating away at you that you're unable to be out in the field playing in uniform today, Matt?
Well, coming onto the field at first when we had our pregame, very disappointed I couldn't play. Seeing the stands all around, seeing all the people here, and not to be a part of it my last year, I feel really bad about it, you know.
Stopka's done a great job filling in. How helpful have you been to him and helping point things out to make him a more effective quarterback?
Well, I go over, show him like things that that I learned in playing football, and little things that a quarterback really, the coaches really don't know about going through and playing the varsity games.
Tell us about the injury. How do you feel now, and when do you think you'll be back to full strength with that collarbone?
I'll be back in late December. Hopefully, I'll practice over Christmas break for basketball, and I'll go to baseball from there, and then I'll make college and college football then, maybe.
All right, Matt, thanks very much, and congratulations on a great year for you.
Thanks.
All right, Matt Marzik, and we will be back with more from Hancock Stadium right after this timeout.
Halftime at Hancock Stadium. The Celtics of Providence leading the Pirates of Palatine by a score of 16-6. Once again, Jack McInerney, one team started out big time, 16 straight points, and it looked as though it's going to be blowout time again. Providence dominating from the beginning.
Well, you know, that first half was all field position. High school football, it's so very important field position. But to compound that with the fact that you have a young Palatine team that's quarterbacked by a sophomore and then asking him to go 99 yards or 95 yards, it's very difficult to do.
And yet Palatine has come back, and certainly this is a very competitive game as we go into the second half. Let's show you some of the highlights. Palatine goes 4 and out to start things off, and then on the first series, Providence comes up with a big pass-catch play.
Well, Christopherson does a great job here of putting the ball right on the money on a post route and looking back into the sun. That's an awful good catch with a great throw.
Rich Polaric makes the catch, 43-yard touchdown, 7-0 after the point after. Then field position, the big issue here. Palatine backed up on his 1-yard line, has got a punt out of the end zone because of this play here. Watch the punt coverage, but watch the man who's making the coverage coming in from literally left field.
Well, right out of bounds there now. The rule is if he had been shoved out of bounds by a Palatine player, then he is a legal participant, but he was not, which makes him illegal. And also then the second part of that compounds the problem is that his feet were on the line.
Well, it turned over in the second quarter here on 4th down from its own 1-yard line. A bad snap by Palatine goes right past the punter, and Stockwell can't handle the ball, so it's a 9-0 lead after the safety. Then Providence scoring again. We'll show you the snap out of the end zone, making the score 9-0. And again, as Joe Patrica said, his team seemed to be awed by the Celtics. Watch again, Joey Schley held in check most of the half, except for this 17-yard run for a TD.
Well, this was supposed to be a first down play here. They had 4th and 2, and Joey, with his great quickness, cuts it back and heads into the end zone for his 41st career touchdown. Excuse me, not career, his senior season here. That's 41 touchdowns. That's incredible.
It was set up by an interception, and yet Palatine, with every opportunity to fold, did not. Came back strong right after the kickoff. It only took them 2 plays to get on the board themselves on this outstanding pass right here, 42 yards.
Well, this is sophomore Stupka again, putting the ball on the money. He's getting pressure right up the middle. But there's Mike Burden, the running back, 200 pounds, but he looks like he's a real good receiver here, making a great concentration catch for that first touchdown for Palatine. Built up their confidence, got them back in the ball game. So now I think that they're going to operate under all cylinders in the second half.
Bad snap on the extra point. It was missed. So that's the halftime score right now, 16-6. Interesting as we take a look at the statistics. Providence certainly has the edge. The big turnover led to 7 points, but Palatine hanging tough.
Well, Palatine had the ball in very poor field position, as we mentioned earlier, and Providence had it in great field position. I would have thought the score could have possibly been far worse than it is right now. Palatine is still in this ball game.
All right. Now Providence will be taking the kickoff starting the second half. So obviously there's a lot there as the Celtics will try to dominate again. We will take you back to the action. First, let's take a break right here in Normal, Illinois. All right, let's go before the second half action begins. Let's go down to Joe Passion.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Matt, a pretty good second half. Field position played a big role in that. The winds change, the directions do. How does your game plan change?
Well, right now, it's not really going to change too much. We just, they made some defensive adjustments. We didn't adjust properly like we should. They went in with straight 4-4 pretty much with a lot of blitzing, and we just got goofed up on our blocking schemes, especially in the pass and that kind of stuff. And, they were just beating us off the ball. We were just kind of, we were standing flat-footed.
How do you unleash Joe Schley in the running game a little bit more then?
Well, that's, we're going to try to get him involved. We just have to get our people off the ball. We have to execute, and we got to contain Burden.
Okay, Coach, go get him. Have a great second half. Matt Seffner trying to up the running game a little bit to complement the passing game that's gotten them here to this 5A state championship game. They lead by 10 here as we go into the second half, and now back upstairs to Mac and Mike Lederman.
A look at Joey Schley, 1,835 yards rushing this season, 7-point yard average on a carry, 35 rushing touchdowns. He added one today, 36. Again, he's not a big guy, 5'9", about 160 pounds.
Well, the offensive line has done an awful lot for him, plus his quickness. But, Rockford Boylan last week, Mike, kept him under wraps, kept him under 100 yards. And when you do that with a kid with his ability, you're doing something. And Palatine has obviously watched that tape and scouted that game, and so far they've done a pretty nice job.
Schley did get by for a 17-yard touchdown run, but that has been his longest run from scrimmage. And we'll see what happens in the second half. Of course, coming up right after this game, the 6A matchup, Homewood Flossmoor and Naperville North. Tom Stalker, Bill Gorley will bring it to you live right here as we finish up our Thanksgiving weekend football fest here on Sports Channel. Hope you're enjoying this one. We've got the old blimp cam, ladies and gentlemen. No expenses spared here in high school football. That's probably the last time you'll see that camera anywhere.
Somebody loses that string.
Yes, sir.
I hope there's a note in there.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. There it is. That is our blimp cam. We've got a lovely look at the subdivision. Pretty soon we may check out the mall for you. That is our blimp cam, ladies and gentlemen. It is technology on the cutting edge. Every time I think there isn't anything more we can do on these telecasts, Bob Albrecht and the
He
gang.
sure does, but I'll tell you what, if he doesn't give me that camera back, my wife is really going to be ticked. I mean, I told him he could use it. I never dreamed he'd have it up there.
We've been paying for it since 1989. I know. All right, back to business here. 16-6 is our halftime score. Looking back last evening, the Class 3A and 4A, Bloomington Central Catholic coming back from a 12-0 deficit, ripping off 22 straight points, led by this man, the quarterback, Tom Bardwell. A quarterback draw for the final score, iced the game, 22-12, Bloomington Central, and now a winner in all three, 1A, 2A, and 3A classes. Belvedere repeating this year in 4A, last year in 5A. This is one of several touchdowns scored, 3 to be exact, by Jim Creighton. A 34-yard run right there. 28-0, a whitewash of Morris for Vern Pottinger's Belvedere Bucks. Now we're all set for the second half kickoff. Rush and Schley back for Providence. Schley number 20, Rush number 1. As Palatine set to kick off from our right to our left. Again, that is with a wind that is gusting to 25 miles an hour. Marty Shager, the senior, putting the ball on the tee, and they may need somebody to hold it as that wind is kicking up. We're here in Normal on the campus of Illinois State, the site of all the 1A through 6A games, as it has been for the past years. Jaeger booms it. Schley on his 6th. And Joey Schley trying to make some moves back there. Good contained by Palatine as a group of Pirates meet him after a 9-yard return. It'll be 1st and 10 Palatine. Bubba Mariani and Brian Mulvihill making the stop as we take a look here at TJ Bergmark on the coverage team.
Good coverage here. They all pursued of the ball, and then they break down, get under control here, and hem Joey Schley in. Nice job of coverage by the Palatine Pirates.
So, tough field position here to start on the 16-yard line for Providence. They bring out Christopherson as quarterback. And the give is to Schley, and Joey Schley's got some room. And Joey Schley breaks it out across the 35. Finally, Mike Burden knocking him out. His largest gain of the afternoon. First play from scrimmage, 19 yards. And that's a big play for Providence. And could be somewhat of a heartbreak for Palatine, which had the Celtics bottled up in their own zone.
They did a nice job here cutting off the inside linebackers, and Joey Schley with his quick feet getting upfield. You can see right here he's trying to cut back to get a little more ground. But this is what Matt Seffner talked about at the half, getting the ball to Joey and doing a better job up front.
From the 36, they switch it to the I. And bad exchange. Palatine says it has the ball as the pitch was made to Stalter, who wasn't expecting it. There is Schley underneath, but Palatine is pointing toward the north goal, and the official says that, watch this here, as
it hits the fullback. It's intended for Joey Schley. The fullback is clearing, and he doesn't even realize it hit him. It was a toss to Joey Schley going outside, and this is one of the problems when you toss out of the I formation, that the fullback has to clear. You can see right here.
Well, Lund had a shot at it, the freshman monster back for Palatine, but Schley did recover. So it's a loss of 3. Could have been a lot worse for Providence. 2nd and 13. Looking inside to Uremovich, and Mike Uremovich on the slant route. Stockwell and Mariani on the coverage. Good gain. Out to the 43. Now make it the 41. Down to Joe Passion.
You'll notice how middle linebacker Burden has a tendency to freelance a lot. The Providence offensive coaches say that they're going to try and take advantage of him overplaying inside to get Schley outside and possibly gain more yards.
Schley on a 3rd and 4, tripped up nicely. Coming up from the defensive position, it looked like Stockwell undercut Schley by the legs, and Palatine has stopped Providence on the first series.
That was a heck of a tackle right there by watch Stockwell coming right up under there. That's an outstanding tackle by Tim Stockwell, 175-pound defensive back.
Bubba Mariani goes deep in single safety for Palatine. There is Matt Schultz, the punter for Providence. Gets a good kick against the wind. Fair catch called for, and then the wind just took that ball and brought it back a good 10 yards. Mariani called the fair catch on his 24, and the ball came all the way back to about the 30 as the wind just picked that ball out of the air and dropped it dead.
And the combination of the AstroTurf bounce. Pretty good field position for Palatine.
24-yard punt, no return. So from the 34-yard line, Ken Stopka, who we watched gain confidence as the first half progressed, will start his first series of the second half. The backs are Lair and Burden. And they give it to Burton. Fighting his way through for about 3. Janik, the linebacker, made the play.
They really need to establish Burton in the second half here. Take some more pressure off of Stavka. Even though he's gotten rid of the early butterflies, they still need to establish that run to keep that secondary and those linebackers in a little tighter to loosen it up for Stavka.
2-yard gain. Ball out to the 37, 16-6. Providence leads Palatine with the ball. 8:36 to go, third quarter. Pitch out, Mariani can't control it. And it is picked up by Knowles. Mariani juggled that ball all the way to the sidelines, finally gave it up. And Jeff Knowles, who tipped a pass earlier, on the spot again for Providence, making the fumble recovery at the Palatine 36.
You can see right there is just running the option to fake the Burton inside, and he pitches. Mariani never got a grip on the ball, and just good reaction right here. Good, solid football right there by the defensive linebackers of Providence.
Credit Jason Edwards for putting the pressure on Mariani, who really never got control of that ball. So once again, Providence with a big break. See what they can do. Christopherson throwing on a run. Got a man out there, but Rich Polaric can't corral this one. It's thrown out of bounds. Chris Rodriguez on the cover, 2nd and 10.
Oftentimes when you have a big turnover early, you try to catch the emotion of the other team and go up top to throw the ball, and they went with the play action fake here, and you can see the turnovers already.
1 interception, 1 fumble by Palatine. The first turnover, the interception, turned into a touchdown for Providence. We'll see what happens here. 8:15 on the clock, third quarter, 2nd and 10. Polaric splits left this time. Uremovich to the right. Deep back is Schley. And the give to Joey Schley, and Schley tries the left side. To the 32, Rick and Burden on the stop.
2 All-Staters meeting there, Joey Schley and Burden.
Burden, the leading tackler on defense, leading rusher on offense. To say a valuable part of the team, huh? Third and 5. From the 31.
The ball tight end is wide open.
Once again, this is Stalter, though, the up back, and Stalter inside the 10. Stockwell on the coverage, beautifully executed by the quarterback Christopherson. 22-yard gain, and a fine route run by Kyle Stalter.
Well, you can see the tight end. There's man coverage here, and the defensive back gets locked up watching the quarterback. Never reacted to tight end going right up the seam. Good throw, good reaction by Christopherson to read that tight end.
Palatine will take a timeout here midway through the third quarter. This was set up by the fumble by Bubba Mariani, recovered by Knowles of Providence. So it'll be 1st and goal when we come back from the 8-yard line. 16-6, the Celtics lead it. Early second half timeout by the Palatine Pirates as Providence has taken the turnover and gone down the field on Palatine. Now a 1st and goal from the 8. Chris Walker, who caught a couple of touchdown passes in the semifinal, is in at receiver, split right. Schley and Stalter are the backs. Polaric split left. And they give it to Stalter. And the fullback stopped cold by Chris LaJoya. LaJoya, number 78, putting all 270 pounds behind there.
I've been really impressed with the defensive front of Palatine. They've really kept them in the ball game. You can see Burden up here in the A-gap coming hard, and they try to block down on him. When the guard blocks down on him, that leaves that big defensive tackle wide open there to make the play on Stelter.
From the 9, a loss of 1. Christopherson looking again. It's taken, intercepted by Palatine. Brian Mulvihill makes the interception at the goal line, and so the Pirates come up with a big turnover. There's Mulvihill, 6-foot senior, plays on the defensive end and drops off into coverage and did his job perfectly that time.
Well, he had they actually had him double covered. There was a coverage underneath and over the top. and he really throws right into it. It's whether or not he audibled or whatever, but you can see there's the under coverage, there's the coverage over the top. Not a real wise decision. And with that vaunted running game, I would have thought that they would at least try to punch it in running the ball.
Pass intended for Walker. So now Palatine goes back to work. Again, deep in its own territory, but as we say, it could have been a lot worse for the Pirates. Wedging him out is Mike Burden. Gets it out to the 11, gain of 4.
Well, you know, that's a good news, bad news. Obviously, Palatine, the bad news again is they're back in terrible field position, but they prevented the score with that interception. Nice wide angle shot there, the formations.
Burden is the up back here, and he takes it, and Mike Burden turning his way out to the 15. Will leave a 3rd and 2. So they use Burden in a lot of different sets. They'll put him as the up back in the eye. They'll put him as the tailback in the eye. Then they'll split him either side wide.
And they play him at middle linebacker.
And they play him at middle linebacker. So
that's what I would call a catalyst of this ball club. For all that youth, they really go to him when they need to have something done on both sides of the ball.
You saw Patrick on the sidelines. 3rd down 2. And a fumble exchange, bad exchange. Stopka. Ball's on the ball, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Once again.
And that was a short yardage play, too. That's got to bother Joe. There they had 3rd and a yard and a half. You can see right here. And I think the pressure, that center wanted to get off to double team that man in the gap right there, and he short snapped it. What we mean by that is he started coming off the ball before he got all the way back up with the ball to the quarterback. Good composure there with Joe.
Stockwell to punt. Schley, single safety inside his 50, inside the 50. Under 5 minutes to go, and a whistle here.
Clock all the way down here.
Dead ball foul. Delay of game. Offense.
Whoa.
Still 4th down.
Well, they were trying to draw Providence offside, and in the end, they hurt themselves. Ball goes back to the 10. And once again, Providence is going to get good field position here. Stockwell to kick it to Schley. Low snap. Schley makes the catch at his own 36.
Oh, Joey.
Full retreat. Look out here. This is not going to end up well for Providence. Joey Schley goes backed up by T.J. Bergmark, but he had a host of Pirates after him. Lost 10 yards after a 27-yard punt. And he's probably going to be spoken to if he were coming off. It's a good thing he's not coming off the field right now for his sake.
Well, you know, those kind of kids that are deep backs that want something to happen, they always think they can outrun the coverage. And he lost 14 yards from the moment he touched the ball. And he's looking for that seam and thinking his speed is going to make a difference, but it didn't on that particular play.
So Providence will start from the Palatine 48. 4:35 to go. No scoring here in the second half. Celtics still lead it by 10. And the give, Stalter. And again, the ball is loose. Palatine says they've got it. The officials,
I think he was down,
are looking this over. He may have been down before the ball popped out.
That's the indication.
And the officials say that just there. They say the ball was down.
Let's take a look at it right here. Stelter running into his own man. And yes, sir, he's down.
That ball was...
Let's take a look. I mean, he is hitting the ground, Mike. The ground causes the fumble. That's right there.
Okay, Jack, let's go back to live action. And this is Schley. Schley takes it to the 45. Bergmark stops him. And that will be good for a 1st down.
I think Providence is having a heck of a lot more difficulty with this defensive line of Palatine than they thought they were going to have. Palatine has given them all they can handle, and I think this was unexpected.
Polaric splits left. Uremovich to the near side right. Offset eye, and again, Stalter on the quick hit. And he gets to the 31. Steve Rick makes the stop.
Right there's the trap. You see the guard leading up on Burden. Center blocking back and guard leading up on Burden picks up a nice 4 or 5 yard gain. That's what you need to have on first down. You need to be able to get 4 yards. So if you have to come up with something, it's 2 plays of 4, and then it's nice to have that 3rd and 2 call.
2nd and 6. Ball's on the 31. And the give is to Joey Schley. Schley trying to swing it. Schley trying to swing it right. And Mike Burden met him after a short gain. This will be about a 3rd and 4.
Trying to run the counter trap here. And
see the ground numbers there. Providence very much in control here. I assume this is...
here's the counter trap right here. You see they pull with the center and the guard. But a nice job here of Burden coming up, making the play. One All-Stater on another All-Stater. How do you do?
From the 29. 3rd and 4. Christopherson again looks over the middle. This time it's picked off once more by Palatine. Tim Stockwell. As Providence went to the well one time too many, and they got Stockwell instead.
Well, they've been going to that tight end, and he's been open. And he was open the last time we talked about that misread coverage. But right here, the safety just comes right underneath and makes a nice interception. As you say, you can only go to him so often. These kids, you know, do fairly well on the ACT, so that it's not going to happen all day long.
Intended for Schultz, and Palatine dodges another bullet. 2:57 to go now. The ball's on the Pirates' 30. They come out with the single back. Stopka over the middle, had a man there. He had Cromar, it overshot him. Ball's a little bit high.
Stopka has the wind here, and he really drilled that ball. And it looks as if Joe feels confident. You can see right there, he's open. Just gets a little behind him.
Withers on the coverage. 2nd down, and they've got Burden split left. Stopka again throwing to the sideline and skips this one in front of Mariani. Stopka's been working the sidelines, hasn't done much over the middle. There's Joe Patrica.
I didn't think,
except for that big touchdown.
I didn't think that Palatine would throw that much, but they must just feel as if they're going to stay in this ball game, they're going to have to throw to keep those big horses from Providence off Stopka. But they have certainly done an interesting concept here as far as throwing more than running.
Shager and Mariani to the left. Stopka again. This time he looks over the middle. That's the play that worked for a touchdown, and Burden hit by Withers. Fine defensive play, and Palatine folks thought he was hit a little early, but no way, say the officials. That was the same play that worked for a touchdown back in the 2nd quarter. We were just saying how he's not working the middle. Well, surprise, surprise.
He looks away, comes back on the post route right here. And now, see, there's a safety. They were in a cover 2, which was not the same coverage they were on the touchdown. That safety was sitting back there. They went man under, 2 deep, which means he had a man playing man-to-man on him all the way, and then the safety came into play when the ball was released.
Stockwell to cut it away.
Great
Gets
kick.
A good kick. Schley, nice over-the-shoulder catch at the 30, and Schley this time comes straight south. And he gets it to the 35.
I think Matt Sefner might have had a man-to-man talk with him on that last one.
Niketa makes the stop after a 40-yard punt, 6-yard return. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. No scoring here so far in the 2nd half, which means the score remains 16-6 in favor of Providence. And there you see some fans coming in for the 6A game. Good crowd. A lot of sunshine. It's been a perfect weekend for the championships. Christopherson and the handoff. Stalker trapped in the backfield. Mike Niketa making the big play. And remember, the 6A game will follow here. Naperville North and Homewood Flossmoor live right after the 5A championship with Bill Gorley and Tom Stocker. I'm Mike Lederman. He's Jack McInerney. We've got our crew here for the 5A contest coming down to the last minute 45. And Joey Schley takes the handoff, and the officials whistles blow, and probably a procedure or a motion call coming up here against the Celtics.
Dead ball foul.
Delay
False
game.
start.
Nope.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Stick with me, Jack. Stick with me.
Boy, you've got those eyes of an eagle, Mike, I know.
Yeah, I think it's Eddie the Eagle Edwards.
They really have had a lot of procedure calls today, which is, and I don't know if it has to do with the cadence of the quarterback or the center is just a half a count off on snapping the ball on the cadence, but it's kind of unusual to have those kind of things. And you can see Matt Sentner somewhat perplexed by the whole happening.
I guess that's a good expression. He is perplexed. And there's the penalty situation. Total of 40 yards, 25 for Providence. Now they shift into the eye on 2nd down and 16. Polaric here to the near side. The pitch to Schley. And Joey Schley breaks it. Oh, goodbye.
That's what we were talking about sooner or later.
70-yard touchdown, Joey Schley. Look out.
That was a run that he made just by his quickness and athleticism. There wasn't a whole lot there initially, but he just picked his way through there with quick feet.
But wait a second, we've got a flag thrown.
A clip
against Providence. So this will come back.
And a meaningless clip. I didn't.
He was gone.
He was long gone.
They threw it at the 30-yard line of Palatine. He was already gone.
Matt is livid here on the sideline.
Now here's where, if there's a good thing coming out of a bad thing.
Bring it back. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
We never did see it. It was downfield. And at the point where the foul was on approximately the 30-yard line, he was long gone by that point.
Absolutely. We'll watch it here. But again, there is a little bit of a silver lining for Providence because the ball doesn't come back to the line of scrimmage in high school. It's from the spot of the foul.
Right there is a clip right there that the
no, that's not what they called, though.
That's not what they called, but that was definitely a clip right there. Now you can see right here, Joey's out in the open. Now he's on the 50. The point of the foul was on the 30, which we don't see in this particular angle.
Well, the ball comes back to the 44, so hold the touchdown, at least for the moment. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Palatine 44. Play the left side, thrown for a loss. Looked like the right side of the Pirates line. Niketa and Barry combining to trip him up after a loss of 2.
Tell you that sometimes those linemen they figure if they're going to hustle downfield to do something, you know, they end up doing something like that doesn't make much sense. But we did not see it on that last camera angle, so we'll just have to assume that that's what happened.
Loss of 2, 30 seconds left to go in the quarter. 2nd down and 12. First man through is Stalter, and Stalter gets to the 40. Another quick hit by the back, Steve Rick on the tackle.
Well, that was a big penalty.
But again, in college or in the pros, that play comes all the way back. It would have been back to the 20-yard line of Providence. Here it's from the spot of the foul, so there's still good field position for the Celtics as they try to continue this drive. They will have to do it after this quarter, so it's the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll go to the final period, 16-6. Providence leads Palatine. It's the 5A championship. We'll be back. Fourth quarter coming up. The 5A championship, 16-6. Providence scored the first 16 points. Palatine coming back with a touchdown in the 2nd period. Nothing in the 3rd. We start the 4th. And here's the quick throw over to Schley. And you got to be careful about that one, Jack. Bubba Mariani on the coverage. That almost was a lateral. Let's go down to Joe Passion.
Talking a moment ago, guys, to one of the officials telling me about that clip penalty, that it was indeed a clip. And even though it was behind the running play, it still goes to the clip. It could have also been called as a personal foul, even though it was behind the run. Also on those procedural calls that you were talking about earlier, he says simply both quarterbacks are having problems with drawing others off the line and people just taking that little hitch before the snap, and that's just maybe part of their nervousness of being in this game.
Burden. Oh, calls for a fair catch on his own 1-yard line. And what is going on there? The first love after a 39-yard punt. Ball's inside the 10. You just let it go.
Well, usually you tell kids when you know you're on the 10-yard line. I think he lost track of where he was. I mean, he had to. There's absolutely no sense in catching that ball there. And anytime it's behind the 10, let it go. You can see Joe's sitting there trying to figure out what in the world do we need to do to get some field position.
Well, he couldn't ask for worse right now. He's got it on the 2. Well, I guess it could be on the 1. Quick off-tackle slant. Joe Goes makes the stop on Burden.
Now they're into the wind as far as throwing it. As far as Christopherson right here, you can see just a little cutback by Burden, but the Providence defensive line isn't going anywhere. They don't anticipate a throw down here.
Mariani now is the tailback on 2nd down and 9, and Bubba takes the handoff, and Mariani struggles up close to the 5-yard line. He is taken down by Pat Rush, coming up from his safety position. As you say, they can start packing in the defense here, just challenging Stopka to throw into the wind from inside his own 5.
Well, having given up only 13 points a game, you know that Providence is a tough defensive ball club, and in this kind of a situation down here, they can let it all hang out, and they're certainly doing that.
Well, Palatine a 3rd and 7, and if they have to go 4th down, that punt is going to come into the wind from their own end zone. Burden is the up back. Mariani the tailback. Stopka to throw it. Shoots it to Mariani, and incomplete, or is it ruled? It is ruled incomplete. Jeff Knowles put a serious hit on Bubba Mariani, and maybe it's even lucky that for Palatine that he did, because that could have been either a safety, an interception, or a fumble recovered for a touchdown.
Well, when you throw it backwards, which he almost did, it's actually a fumble because it's behind the line of scrimmage, the lateral, and they were very fortunate on that. Now, again, Providence, without even handling the ball, is going to have great field position.
Well, Schley is at the Palatine 30 as Stockwell certainly has got the challenge of the game right here. And Niketa gets a good snap, and the kick takes the Palatine bounce to the 45, and Joey Schley is going to take it right out of bounds. So certainly doing the best job he could. Stockwell, a fine punt, kept it low. It took the turf roll, and it could have been a lot worse for Palatine. 37-yard punt returned for -3.
This is real close. If he's even parallel with him, that is considered a fumble. But right there, Knowles does a great job. He's got Mariani in man coverage down there and does an excellent job, as he did earlier, recovering that fumble on that option that Mariani bobbled.
From the Palatine 46, Schley straight up the middle, and he is stopped by Matt Barry, number 77. Goes inside the 45. Mike Burden assisting as well. Under 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter here. 16-6, the team in green looking for a 5A state championship. It already has 2 in Class 4A. Palatine, its first trip to the finals.
Both outstanding programs with outstanding coaches. They have led them to the playoffs throughout the year.
Schley on the pitch. And Schley across the 40. Sergio Lund, the freshman linebacker, monster back they call him. Boy, they really like him. They start a freshman down there in the monster linebacker spot.
He's not a real big one either, 5'10", 145 pounds.
Well, if you're going to play on this defense as a freshman, you better be good. And obviously he is. Got an interception on the season as well. 3rd down 2, Polaric split to the left side. Walker to the right. Schley. First down, Providence, inside the 35. Chris LaJoya making the tackle.
Well, they're running right at him, which we thought they might do a little more of and dominate Palatine a little more earlier in the ball game, but now it seems to be that they might be just starting to wear them down a little bit.
Well, you made the point, Jack. Sometimes as many as 6 Palatine players are two-way players. Providence will only use someone like a Joey Schley on defense, for example, in the prevent defense. Everybody else, either offense or defense. Here's Stalter, and Stalter gets a second effort. Burden takes him down, and underneath the pile, Stockwell.
Burden's a heck of a football player. He's always where the ball is. Always where the ball is. You can see him right here. Nice read. They kind of change up a little bit. They have Joey Schley leading the play and Stetler carrying the ball. But based on how Joey blocked on that one, I think he needs to have the ball in his arms.
Polaric to the right side, and Stalter again. Again straight ahead. Stockwell once more on the tackle. And that'll bring up a 3rd and short. 3rd and 2.
You see just a little full block. The guard blocks out, and the tackle comes underneath him up on the middle linebacker. They've run this play fairly successfully early in the second quarter, and now are starting to come back to it again.
Walker and Polaric split left and right. Stalter and Schley the backs. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. A little motion in the offensive line, and that's going to cost Providence 5.
And
Jeff
again,
Howlett right there, the offensive guard on the left side.
Ball foul.
The defense caused this. You can see Burden right here in the gap. And the left guard here trying to get off on his zone scheme. Center's going to block back on Burden. The guard and tackle are going to block on the next down lineman. A little too anxious.
And we had a little coach's clicker on that right there. Back and forth.
And there's Matt with his lucky hat on and his corsage.
It's actually his catcher's clicker, named after Ed, our tape operator. 3rd and 7. They give it to Stalter, and Stalter wrapped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage by T.J. Bergmark to set up a 4th down. And no issue here. Providence will make this 4-down territory. 6:52 to go. Sorry, Jack.
That's all right. They're trying to get as much out of this clock as possible. And again, it's very helpful to have that clock there where the quarterback can walk up there, look right at it, and snap it with just about 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock to get as much time used up as possible.
Certainly a key play for Palatine here. If they hope to come back, they must stop Providence on this 4th down play. Christopherson looking, intended for Walker, but it was thrown in front of him and bounced. So Palatine will take over going into the wind, and they've got about a 70-yard look for a score on the other end. There's Walker. Chris Walker, a 5'8" senior. 11 receptions on the season, and 6 came in the semifinal.
And that big catch against Rockford Boyle to win the ball game.
He made an outstanding catch over the shoulder, the defender right up on him. With 20 seconds to go in the ball game. That was then, this is now. So once again, Stopka. No backs in the backfield. All the receivers out.
Crossing route. He's got him open.
Stopka looking and completes it to Steve Cromar. And Cromar, the senior receiver, bounced out of bounds there by Jason Edwards.
Hey, Billy!
And it's 1st down and 10 for Palatine. 6:20 to go. No back set in the backfield. All the receivers were strung out along the line of scrimmage. And Stopka on the rollout. Found Cromar, his first reception on the afternoon.
You can see him flushed a little bit right here, and all of a sudden you'll see the receiver coming into the bottom of your screen. Nice catch, nice throw.
Same formation. Stopka going again, and tipped up, and Cromar again makes the catch after having it deflected by the defender. Looks like Jeff Knowles there, and having the presence of mind, Steve Cromar made the catch. Didn't gain much yardage, but it's a completion and not an interception. Good play by Knowles to make the deflection, and a good play by the receiver to come up with that deflection.
Knowles has been around the ball all afternoon, but Stopka right there really forcing the ball into the receivers. Either he must have great confidence in that arm and the ability to deliver the ball on the money.
4-yard gain. Once again shoots it out, this time to Burden. Burton trying to make a move and holding on and doing a good job was Mike Uremovich, Jason Edwards, and Knowles coming over to finish him off. Actually, it was number 59, Chris Janik, wide back around that play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. Bomar comes in with the play as we see it here.
Burton is a big, strong back. Good football player.
Clock a factor now, coming up to the 5-minute mark here. Burton splits it right. Stopka gets the 1st down. Receivers were covered. Stopka had the presence of mind before Knowles got him to get that 1st down yardage. There's Shager getting instructions from Coach Patrica. Stopka here.
Well, he knows the situation. You can see a nice move right there, and he knows exactly what he needs. That's good composure by a young sophomore quarterback.
1st and 10 from the 44-yard line of Providence. Palatine trailing by 10 in the final moments here in the 4th quarter. Stopka looking inside. Had a good route. Looking for Mariani, but just a little bit in front of him.
Stopka wasn't able to get his feet underneath him to get all of his body in there. He had to kind of arm it out there. You can see the pressure right up the middle.
Withers on the coverage there, number 29.
Right in the seam here.
Receiver was open.
Kind of looked like he took what we call, he had some alligator arms there. Saw that safety coming across the field.
2nd and 10 again from the 44. Mariani out left along with Shager. Stockwell the only setback.
Got him open.
Looking long. Brought down and intercepted. Once again, it's Withers. Check it. It's number 26. No, it is Withers. It's Quinn Walsh, I believe. Yeah, it's Quinn Walsh. And we got some more penalty flags being thrown.
I think right at the conclusion of that play, the receiver ended up grabbing the face mask. He was open early. Mariani. The ball got delivered late.
Mariani, the intended receiver. Here's the call.
We have an interception by Green. Face mask on the ensuing run back against Palatine. It's going to be Green's ball, 1st down, 15 yards up.
Well, Stopka upset. And time is running short. 4:27 to go. Providence now has the ball and maintains its 10-point lead. Here's the sophomore Stopka forcing the ball through, and for the 2nd time, you'll see an interception by
Mariani grabbing the face mask right here.
Quinn Walsh in front of Mariani.
He was open initially, but a little late delivery on the ball resulted in the interception. So a frustrating face mask, I think.
So Providence from its own 36, Joey Schley. Left side, a couple of yards. Clock moving at 4:05. Steve Rick, a name we've called quite a bit, tackling Joey Schley. There he is. Had a 70-yard touchdown run called back. At this point, it looks as though they won't need it on the Providence side. Still 3:51 to go. And you see Christopherson coming back into the huddle, and the clock running. 10 seconds on the play clock now. There are the trophies ready to be given out. Once again, they give it to Schley, and Schley bobs and weaves. Stopped by Sergio Lund after a pickup of a couple of yards. Stockwell on the assist. 3rd down. It'll be 4 to go. And if Palatine is going to make a stop, they will have to make it here. One more 1st down, and you can just about forget it as far as the Pirates are concerned.
And they're getting it down to 3 seconds on each one of those plays, so they're using up all 25 seconds of the play clock with each play that they call.
Under 3 minutes. Walker here. Play clock is down to 2. Play action fake. Christopherson looking for the tight end again, and Schultz looking up into the sun, defended by Stockwell.
I
don't know about that
I don't
play.
know about that one either. But
Again, you're
I'm up
running
here,
clock, yeah.
and they're down there.
And Sefner's been doing this for a few years.
Yeah, but Matt didn't call that play. His offense coordinator did, so I don't know. If it had been caught, it would have been, a first down, basically. And
so 4th down. Schultz will punt. There is Mariani, your deep man, standing at his own 25. Schultz again with the wind here. Wow. Nearly blocked, and this one is sky high.
Good thing they got that blimp out of there.
Rolling inside the 20. No return, obviously. Matt Schultz did his job. 41-yard punt. 2:32 on the clock, down to Joe Passion.
Well, you were talking, Mac, earlier about that lucky cap that Matt Sefner wears. That says Nativity on it. That's a grammar school in Joliet where his kids go to school. They gave it to him about 11 years ago, and he has never taken it off for a game. He always wears it. That's his lucky cap, and it seems like that cap gets luckier and luckier for him every year, particularly on this field. Down here by the trophies, that's what you heard the fans going crazy about. When the trophies came out here, they knew one of them is theirs, the one they came down here to get. Back up
Steve
here.
Promar takes the pass from Stopka. Uremovich and Janik on the tackles. 2 minutes exactly left to go. 16-6, a 10-point deficit. And the clock continues to run. 1:53.
Well, we'll have to say for a decided underdog, Palatine has really played a very good ball game, a very solid ball game against a very potent Providence team that has been held in check.
Across the middle, looking for Burden, and incomplete, defended by Jason Edwards, as well as the linebacker Janik. Boy, this is quite a spot for a sophomore.
Boy, it sure is, and considering what they had to go through in that first quarter with the terrible field position they had to start out this ball game. But Stopka's shown great poise here for a quarterback, and he's also showed a very strong arm for a sophomore quarterback.
If we didn't point out he was a sophomore, you really couldn't
Right.
tell. He's got a lot of poise.
We've been dwelling on it, but so important in a game like this, especially when he didn't play the whole season.
Stockwell, the single setback. Burden to the right, looking over the middle, and it's intercepted once again. Joe goes and goes. Oh no, one more time. It's Quinn Walsh, his 3rd of the day. Quinn Walsh, penalty flags fly as he is knocked out of bounds, probably a personal foul call. And Quinn Walsh has had himself some kind of a day. 26-yard return on the interception, and he takes it near the 20-yard line for Providence, which should about do it.
Well, we talked about him being a sophomore, and the main reason, if he had been playing all year long, we wouldn't have mentioned it, but he just came in to start playing the last 3 games of the playoffs. And here's the interception. We'll see the late shove right there where we get the flag.
Yeah, Peter Laird, number 43, gives him a belt after he's out of bounds, and this is going to cost some more yardage.
We have 2 fouls. On the run back, we have a clip on green. That will be assessed 15 yards from this spot. After the player was out of bounds, we have a dead ball late hit on the defense. That'll bring the ball back 15 yards. It will be Green's ball, 1st and 10 right here.
All right, we can see them both. First, we'll show you the clip. And the 2 penalties actually negate, so.
If that's initial contact was made in the front, so if that's called a clip, he didn't see it initially because that would not have been a clip.
Watch 43 Lair here on the late hit.
That is definitely the late hit.
Yeah. So the 2 penalties cancel each other out. Meanwhile, the interception, we could say, almost effectively canceled out the championship hopes of Palatine with 1:26 to go. And Providence deep in Pirate territory now on the Palatine 26-yard line. Palatine has 2 timeouts left.
Where I assume they will be running the ball for the remainder of this 1:26.
Christopherson, the quarterback. He's got Schley now as the up back, along with Stalter in the tailback spot. And this is Stalter. He's been running up the middle effectively. He does it again. Flags fly one more time. Let's go back down to Joe Passion.
Well, a guy who's had radar hands today, maybe radar eyes would be a better way of describing Quinn Walsh, the talented defensive back here. What have you been keying on, Quinn, that you've been able to make the interceptions you have today?
Mariani, number 21. They had somebody beat him at practice all week. I just went to his side all day today, and I was supposed to stop him.
Is there something you're checking off that you see that by that key that draws you to the ball? You know it's coming your way?
I just read the quarterback. He's been looking at who he's going to throw to all day, so I just been watching his eyes, and I could read him good.
Congratulations, a great effort today. Quinn Walsh, the defensive back, with the interceptions today for the Celtics.
3 interceptions for Quinn Walsh. Clock now running with 1:15. And after a holding call, it's now 1st and 15. And hello, Burton trying to get behind the line a little too quickly, but didn't break the plane. Stalter again. And we'll come down to a minute to go. Steve Rigg makes another tackle.
Well, that's the inexperience that Walsh was talking about on the part of Stopka as far as reading the receivers. When he turns, he's looking at them all the way. And, of course, Mariani being one of his favorite receivers, he looks to him immediately, and that certainly does help the safeties.
Palatine not stopping the clock here. The final 40 seconds. So one more play should do it, and it'll be the 3rd state championship for the Providence Celtics and the 1st in Class 5A. 5 seconds to go on the play clock, and Christopherson gets his team set so he can at least take the snap, does the kneel, and that'll do it. Both teams congratulate each other, and there is Matt Sefner, 27 years as head coach at Providence, his quarterback Christopherson, and congratulations to the Celtics. They are the Class 5A champions.
Well, Palatine played a heck of a ball game. It was not expected that they would do as well as they did. I credit Joe Petricka for putting together a great game plan, but the fact that they played so extremely well as a team, it was really a good football game by Palatine, who was decidedly undermanned.
Well, there the two coaches are meeting and congratulating each other. This really was an outstanding ball game, and Palatine, you know, the cliche is nothing to be ashamed of, but forget that. They've got a lot of talent coming back. Petricka said he had a better team talent-wise last year. This team had more heart. Got to the finals for the first time in Palatine's history. And what a fall Palatine High School's had. They're the state soccer champions. They finished high in the swimming championships, and here, 2nd place in the state finals. So certainly a lot of good news up there in the northwest suburbs. Meanwhile, down around Joliet, New Lenox, Providence Catholic High School has done an outstanding job. I think we're standing up so much, I better get the outstanding out of my system. 16-6 the final. We'd like to thank our spotters, Nathan Lerner for Providence and John Burke for Palatine. Today's game produced and directed by Bob Albrecht. Graphics coordinator is Joe Groob. Remote facilities provided by Trio Video. Remember, we'll have the 6A game coming up right after we wrap up here and present some awards. And defensively, Providence was tough when it had to be. And Quinn Walsh, a man with 3 interceptions. Tom Stocker, Bill Groley, all set to bring you the 6A game. Naperville North and Homewood Flossmoor. We'll have that right after the award ceremonies that are being set up on the 50-yard line. So a lot of jubilation, a lot of consolation down there on the field. We will go to a commercial break, and we'll be back to wrap things up here in Normal. Well, the game is over. The award ceremony is coming up now for the runner-up and for the championship team. This is the Palatine Pirates, of course. 2nd place finishers here. And that is David Fry of the Illinois High School Association, the executive director of the IHSA. And there is Joe Petricka. In his 11th season as coach, took his team to the finals, a team nobody thought would really emerge this year. Suffered through many, many injuries to at least 5 starters, and yet had a team he just adored in terms of their work ethic and their heart, and it's paid off with a trip downstate.
Well, he talked about hard work and effort and winners, and how his sophomore would replace a winner, and the kids just had great heart and great effort all year, and that can bring you down here. It's not always all the talent as much as it is the effort and the heart of the kids.
There's the trophy. David Fry handing it to Matt Barry. The fine two-way lineman for Palatine. Now, we told you much of the backfield talent is underclassmen, sophomores and juniors. If they can find some linemen to replace guys like Matt Barry and LaJoya, they could do very well next year again. Meanwhile, an 11-3 season, nothing to sneeze at all. They did get a touchdown after Providence jumped out to a 16-point lead, 2 touchdowns and a safety. Here's the touchdown to Mike Burden from the sophomore Kent Stopka.
Did a nice job of getting the ball up and leading it. Burden makes a great concentration catch here, looking up into the sun with a hand in his face, comes down with the ball, and Palatine's only touchdown.
Well, there is Ken Stopka. We've played this court a lot, but he played on the sophomore team until the playoffs. Matt Marzak, the senior quarterback, broke a collarbone in the second game against the #1 seed McHenry. Stopka comes in, finishes the game, ends up throwing touchdown passes to win the semifinal with just seconds to go. And here came up a little short today, but nothing to be ashamed of at all. An outstanding effort. And now the Providence Celtics take the championship trophy home up north. There's Matt Sefner. Lucky hat. Now I wonder if he can.
Well,
he and Bob Mays will trade hats. Which is
I hope he doesn't wear that corsage at each one of these championship games. That thing right now has got to be put in a jar of formaldehyde.
He's a happy man. Bob Mays, by the way, the coach of Bloomington Central, had a hat that he may have been given, I think, for his confirmation. Just a little bit older than that one that Matt Sefner wears. There are the medals.
And now this year's
Pat Rush,
Class 5A
Joey Schley
trophy will be
had a
presented to the
touchdown today.
Matt's done a great job at Providence.
That was the outstanding linebacker. Had some big plays, and there you go. There go the big numbers up there on the minivans.
There's Matt's van.
Special game ball courtesy of Wolfen Sporting Goods Company is Dr. Zett. Congratulations to the Celtics.
There it is, a lot of happy Celtics.
Well, they're going to have to build a trophy room over Providence now. They've been picking quite a few of these up most recently.
And there's a future Celtic scat back right there. And
Matt Sefner's youngest son, Luke, is a 6th grader. And Matt had talked about wanting to coach him.
16-6, the final score. All the scoring in the first half. Providence coming out and establishing dominance, and then holding on as Palatine coming up a bit short. We'll be back to talk to the winning coach after this.
A great victory, his 3rd in the last 8 years of bringing a state championship home. This time the first in 5A for Coach Matt Sefner of Providence. I've seen you around a lot of great wins and some great teams, but I've never seen you as emotional as you are today.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, these kids are special. I've told them that all year. They just work so hard. When one cylinder's not hitting, the other ones are. And boy, I asked the defense for a shutout in the second half. I said, if you can shut them out, we're going to be state champs. And they came up with some tremendous plays in the second half. And I can't say anymore. They did what they're asked to do, and they've been doing this all year. Great kids. It's great for our community, great for our school. I couldn't be prouder, Joe.
You've always talked about these kids from the beginning of the year being overachievers. And then after that 59-30 win in game 3 against Indiana's Brother Rice, was it at that point the key win that you thought maybe this team is better than I thought?
Definitely. That was definitely a key for us this year. When we won that ball game, I knew this was going to be a special team. All they had to do was really, put it all together, try to, brush up a couple of odds and ends, and it was really great the way they came through. you know, the passing game clicked and the defense really, really came through in the second half of this evening.
We've got a monitor over here with the 2 touchdowns, and that first one, of course, was a big pass play that really helped out in being able to get it. Describe the play for us a little bit.
That's just I believe it's a post route to Rich Polaric, and Rich, you know, he just did a great job. He put the ball right on the money, and you know, you couldn't ask for a better football play right there. He just, you know.
And then the other touchdown also helped out a great deal too. You got your running game going.
Yeah, Joey read that. Right there, he's doing all the things he has to do to read the play. And you know, he just did a tremendous job on that one right there. Found a hole. You know, we kicked the guy out. You know, we did a good job on that one.
The defense came up big time with the safety in the first half. And then, as you said, it gave you the shutout in the second half. Also, Quinn Walsh had radar out there with the 3 picks.
How about it? You know, kid, you can't ask more for a kid. He had three interceptions all year, and he equals that today. That, you know, it seems like every time, we come down here, you know, we get some kids that are going to have the big games, and obviously right there, Quinn Walsh just had a great defensive effort on his part.
You got your youngest son, Luke, in here. Come on in there, Luke. And, you know, I look at the emotion of you, and I think, now, could all those emotions be because maybe he's thinking, maybe I'll just be an AD and collect that big check and sit on my butt, but you've expressed you hope to be around long enough that you can coach Luke at some point.
Yeah, Luke's a 6th grader now at St. Mary Nativity in Joliet, and he's played football for a number of years, so I'm going to try to hang in there. You know, I'll make every effort, God willing, to hang in there and be able to, you know, help coach Luke here.
Well, maybe, Luke, you'll have a chance to be out here instead of just being the ball boy, holding that trophy up real high yourself.
Yep, I hope so.
Congratulations, man, on a great win with a great young ball club.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Sports Channel, for, you know, just covering this thing. Is really great. It really was. You guys did a great job.
Thanks, Coach. Enjoy the celebration back home in New Lenox. Matt Sefner, very happy, Coach, for obvious reasons. His 16-6 victory here gives him a 3rd state championship in as many years, 3 in the last 8 years. Let's send it back up now to Mac and Mike Lieberman.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We know you're going to get ready for the 6A game. Jack, again, 3 good ball games we've covered, and you look back at the 1A and the 3A, and you see a lot of talent come here, and it's also nice to play in an atmosphere where you can actually get some traction on the field, unlike a couple of years ago.
I guess. And the other part of it is they've had a sellout crowd here all weekend. We've had tremendous crowds, very well played football games. The stars that are supposed to be the stars have really shone brightly during all of these ball games. The guys that they figured to go to have come through in the clutch.
Yeah, that's true. Joey Schley had a 70-yard run that electrified the crowd. Unfortunately for Providence, it was called back by a penalty, and yet the folks here got to see maybe, if not the best, one of the best running backs in the state do his thing from 70 yards away.
Well, he really did do that, and then, of course, we saw a great job by Joe Patrica and his Palatine Pirates of giving Providence all they could handle for a team that was not expected to be here. They did a real good job.
Yeah, and in the 1A, Sterling Newman, again, embarrassed last year. A team that was 2nd in the state didn't really think in those terms. It just thought of how it was embarrassed by 40 points in the final, coming back and shutting out its opponent this year to win. And then coming up in 3A, Bloomington Central, a team a lot of people didn't think would even make it. With a roster of only 32 players, they came back and won over DuQuoin. So a lot to talk about. It's been a fun week. It's always good working with you, Jack, and thanks to Joe Passion as well. And meanwhile, our 6A game is coming up. Bill Gorley and Tom Stocker, you guys take it now.
All right.